Hey everyone, Blood Moon Bobby here. So, a while back I was wondering if Disney and Pixar's upcoming movie Soul was either going to be released on Video Man services early due to concerns with the coronavirus, or if it would just have its theatrical release date moved. Well, guess what? Both Soul's release date is being moved, as well as Walt Disney Animation Studios' upcoming movie, Raya and the Last Dragon. Both movies have had their release dates pushed following theater closures due to the concerns of the coronavirus. So yes, you heard right. So Soul was originally supposed to come out in June, but it is now being pushed to November 20th. Meanwhile, Raya and the Last Dragon was supposed to come out on November 25th, but it is now being pushed to March 12th, 2021. The website The Wrap said that the March release date that Raya now occupies was originally going to hold a Disney live-action film, but that particular movie has now been removed from Disney's schedule. And the website also said that theaters aren't expected to reopen until July at the earliest, which even then I'm kind of skeptical about. And The Wrap also pointed out that some movies are holding on to their July release dates, including Christopher Nolan's Tenet and Disney's Mulan remake. The reason why I was wondering if Disney and Pixar's Soul would be put on video-on-demand services and services like Disney Plus earlier than expected was because following the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic, a lot of studios were kind of experimenting with this idea of earlier than expected VOD releases. Like a perfect example is Disney and Pixar's prior movie Onward. I mean, yes, Onward was released in theaters at least for a time, but it came out on VOD services and Disney Plus sooner than expected. And an even more recent example was Trolls World Tour. It came out on those services the same day it was released in a few theaters. I also know that Disney Executive Chairman Bob Iger basically said, there's a chance we could put some of our upcoming theatrical films, there's a chance we could put some of our upcoming or current theatrical films up on Disney Plus, but I think we're mostly going to go with the delay route, which Soul and Raya are definitely on that delay route, much like what Disney has been doing with their Marvel movies. I talked about in a previous video, there was a story saying that a lot of Marvel movies have had their release dates pushed, again, because of concerns of the coronavirus, and some of them basically had to exchange release dates and play this kind of game of musical chairs of one movie taking over another's release date, and as a result, this movie's taking over another. And I think the reason why Disney is going the delay route with Soul and Raya is because I expect these movies to be really expensive, because especially these days, both Pixar and Walt Disney Animation Studios projects tend to be rather expensive. So I think Disney was thinking, yeah, we're better off delaying these movies so that we'll be able to profit off these films using box office numbers, because I know that to this day a lot of studios rely a lot more on box office profits as opposed to what they could do with streaming services, for example. Even though DreamWorks Animation's Trolls World Tour, I heard that movie actually did quite well for in terms of its digital release. And I think the reason why DreamWorks said, okay, let's release it in some theaters while making it available to rent on VOD services, I think the reason why is because they were like, is because they were in this kind of dilemma where it's like, should we release it in theaters when it's much safer? Or should we just go with what we can, make what we can right now by making it available to rent digitally earlier than expected and putting it out in some theaters. So I think that was why Universal and DreamWorks made the decision they did. To my knowledge, the only movie I could think of where Disney was like, okay, we're going to completely take it off the theatrical release schedule and just put it straight on Disney Plus was Artemis Fowl, which in that particular case, I know there's a lot of skepticism over that movie, and maybe Disney was thinking, yeah, it seems like it costs a lot to make, and it's a new franchise. I know that Artemis Fowl is based off of books, but for Disney, it would be, their first Artemis Fowl movie. And the reason why I think Raya and the Last Dragon was delayed until 2021 is because I think Disney was concerned that if both Soul and Raya, like let's say they did a thing where we're gonna move Soul to November 20th, but Raya can stay on November 25th, the problem would be both movies could potentially cannibalize each other, and since Disney, I think they obviously want to make a profit on both of them. They were like, okay, so we'll move Soul to this upcoming November, and as a result, we're going to move Raya and the Last Dragon over to next year in March of 2021. And in the case of Mulan, the Mulan remake, as to why it's still holding on to its July release date as of at least right now. I think the reason it's kind of like what it's kind of like what a viewer of mine suggested in a previous video, where maybe Disney is doing a thing where they want some kind of plan in place just in case the coronavirus pandemic the situation, you know, becomes a lot safer for people to go out again. Like if the situation cools down sooner than expected. Do I think it'll cool down by July? I personally don't really think so. But I think for Disney, it's kind of more of a just in case scenario, where it's like just in case we want to have some kind of plan in place. I know that whenever I make these videos talking about release date delays, there's a lot of disappointment, which, you know, I could understand. I'm excited to see Soul and Raya and the Last Dragon myself, but I know that for safety reasons, I could understand why these movies are being pushed. So I'll just wait around. Hopefully by November things will get safer to see Soul. Well, because me personally, I really do enjoy going to the movies. I mean, just before the pandemic got really crazy, me and my friends went to see both 1917 and Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker in theaters, and it was fun. You know, it was fun seeing them on the big screen. We saw 1917 in IMAX, and the sound system in theaters, I can tell you, is much better than whatever I've got at my house. So it would be really nice again, and on top of that, to be really honest, as much as I understand why, you know, we have to stay home to be safe, it is really stressful at the same time to be cooped up, you know, at home, and, you know, you can't go outside and do all that much. So I am really looking forward to seeing these movies, and I hope that we'll be able to see them on these new release dates. So let me know your thoughts down below. Are you interested in seeing these movies? Are you excited for either Soul or Raya and the Last Dragon? Are you excited for either of these movies? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Until next time, this has been Blood Moon Bobby, and thank you all for watching. Hi everyone, thanks for watching this Blood Moon Bobby video. Like and share the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel to see more of my videos, and ring the bell to be notified about my latest uploads. Don't forget to follow me on social media for my latest opinions and video updates. I hope to see you next time.